In the quiet hours of the evening, as the world outside hummed with its usual indifference, I found myself immersed in the haunting melodies of Lily Allen's latest release, West End Girl. It was a collection of tracks that pulled no punches, each one a raw nerve exposed to the cool air of public scrutiny. There was something undeniably compelling about it, I'll admit that freely. The album wasn't just music, it was a confessional, a sonic diary etched with the sharp edges of betrayal and the dull ache of loss. Songs like Madeline and I Deserve Better wove a tapestry of emotional turmoil, guiding listeners through the labyrinth of infidelity, shattered trust, and the bitter aftertaste of public vulnerability. Lily laid it all bare, the sting of discovering her husband's alleged affair, the weight of humiliation that comes from loving someone who strays, and the fierce resolve to reclaim one's narrative through art. It was brave, unfiltered, and in many ways, a testament to the power of turning personal devastation into something universally resonant. Hats off to her for that transformation. Not everyone possesses the alchemy to spin gold from such profound pain. Yet, as I sat there, headphones cradling my ears like a reluctant confidant, a familiar pang stirred within me, not just sympathy but a deeper, more complicated resonance. You see, I've walked a shadowed path not unlike hers. The specter of cheating has loomed large in my own story, though mine unfolded not on the grand stage of celebrity but in the intimate, unforgiving confines of everyday life. It arrived unceremoniously, not with a dramatic crescendo or a swelling orchestra, but via a simple text message from a stranger, a digital arrow that pierced straight through the fragile illusion I'd built around my relationship. Amanda, it began, you don't know me but we need to talk. Those words, so innocuous on the surface, carried the force of a demolition crew, reducing what I thought was a sturdy foundation to rubble in seconds. This woman, this unexpected ally in a moment of crisis, wasn't someone from my inner circle. She wasn't a casual acquaintance whose offhand comment might have hinted at trouble brewing. No, she was a beacon of quiet integrity, a fellow traveler in the often treacherous landscape of modern romance who chose compassion over complicity. She reached out because she believed in the unspoken code of sisterhood, a fragile bond that says we owe it to one another to shield against the wolves disguised as lovers. In sharing her story, she didn't just expose the cracks in my world, she illuminated them with a clarity that was both merciful and merciless. We exchanged details in hushed, hurried messages, screenshots of late-night confessions, timestamps that overlapped like accusing shadows, promises whispered to two hearts under the guise of exclusivity. Let me paint the picture a little more vividly without delving into the specifics that still feel too raw to fully unpack. While I savored the warmth of his "Good morning, gorgeous" texts, the kind that chased away the morning chill and painted my day in hues of possibility, she was receiving the very same elixir at the precise moment. As he stood in my kitchen, sleeves rolled up, stirring a pot of something homemade with that boyish grin that made my heart skip, his mind was cataloging the recipe not just for me but for her, a duplicate performance in another act of deception. And in those stolen moments when I'd scroll back through our chat history, replaying his words like a cherished reel, convincing myself that this time, truly this time, I'd found a partner worthy of my trust, he was elsewhere, thumbs swiping through profiles on dating apps, his attention fragmented and fleeting. It's a tale as old as time, isn't it? One that countless women have etched into their own histories with varying degrees of ink and blood. We know the script by heart, the slow unraveling, the confrontation laced with disbelief, the inevitable goodbye that tastes like ash. In my case, the exchange of evidence was swift and surgical. I forwarded the incriminating threads to him, a digital guillotine that severed our connection with brutal efficiency. Our romance, which had bloomed with such deceptive tenderness, withered in the harsh light of truth. I crafted a farewell message that dripped with grace I didn't fully feel. I wish you the best, but inside, pride warred with devastation, leaving me a hollow shell staring at my screen. It was over just like that, leaving me to navigate the debris alone. Blindsided? Utterly. I'd always prided myself on my intuition, on my ability to read the subtle tells in a man's demeanor, the micro-expressions that betray hidden agendas. Yet here I was, schooled by circumstance, reminded that even the sharpest eyes can miss the serpent in the garden. And no, I'm not fishing for pity in recounting this, far from it. Pity is a currency I neither seek nor spend. What I am grateful for, profoundly so, is the kindness of that stranger who intervened. She was older, wiser, her compassion a balm against the burn. If these words reach her, know this. Your act of grace spared us both from prolonging a farce with a man who, in retrospect, was never deserving of our time, our energy, or the fragments of our hearts he so casually claimed. As the headlines about Lily Allen flooded my feeds this week, each one a fresh wave crashing against the shores of public opinion, I couldn't help but reflect on the stark contrast between her spectacle and my solitude. For her, the unraveling wasn't confined to private tears or whispered phone calls. It played out under the relentless glare of spotlights and scrolling timelines. Entering a union as high-profile as hers with David Harbour, the charismatic star from Stranger Things, only to watch it fracture amid whispers of infidelity that must carry a humiliation amplified 1,000-fold. The world doesn't just watch, it dissects, it memes, it judges. I found myself unexpectedly thankful for the anonymity of my own story. Never once did I parade that relationship across my Instagram grid, sparing myself the awkward ritual of a breakup announcement to my modest following of 34,000. No need for curated statements or emoji-laden clarifications, just the quiet mercy of obscurity. But here's where the chasm between us widens, and where my empathy begins to fray at the edges. Lily's heartbreak, while genuine and gut-wrenching, doesn't exist in a vacuum. Her romantic ledger isn't unblemished. It's dotted with chapters that echo the very betrayal she now laments in song. And in that mirror of history it's challenging, nay nearly impossible, to summon the full measure of solidarity one might offer a blameless soul. When the news of David's alleged indiscretions broke, my knee-jerk reaction wasn't the reflexive outrage that rallied so many of her defenders. "How could you, David?" they cried, a chorus of feminist fury. Instead, my mind drifted unbidden to Nicole Appleton, the resilient voice behind All Saints, whose own heart was once collateral damage in Oasis frontman Liam Gallagher's orbit.